together a card. I have said to you guys before that you don't have to have a whole bunch of stamps and stamp blocks and all of those things to make cards. And I mean that. When I first started out, I thought, well, I have to have this, I have to have that, I have to have. And before I knew it, I had far more than I need that I could use within 3 years. But, like at Christmas time, when you're trying to save money, if you have cardstock that you need to use, and say you don't have Christmas stamps, but you don't really have the extra however much money to go buy them, here's you a solution. I was in Walmart. I was in the Walmart Hometown Market, which is just a Walmart grocery store. That's all it is. But they always have a seasonal section. Well, I always look for these confettis because before I've gotten other table scatter or confetti, whichever you want to call it, that I've used as embellishments on my cards. So it's a cheap way to have embellishments, right? I thought so too. Well, this guy has 6 large confetti is what it's called. It was $1.98, and in it is this beautiful sentiment. And it's not super flimsy, but it's not chipboard either. It's like a 65-pound cardstock, I would say. Now, what I do notice is that some of the glitter will come off, not a lot though. But this guy is going to go as my sentiment on a card. You get 2 of the Merry Christmas, 2 of these beautiful Christmas trees. Isn't that gorgeous? And then 2 of these pretty holly. I'm using this one. I almost want to put one of these on the inside. Maybe I will. The Merry Christmas, let me get out my gigantic ruler here. At its widest point is 5 3/4 of an inch long, and then widest point the opposite direction. I'm real good at these directions, aren't I? Laugh with me, it's funny. So it's 3 by 6 basically. So the way I'm getting around that is, typically we make standard A2 size cards. Occasionally I'll make a 5 by 7, which this would be perfect for. But I was in Walmart, the regular Walmart, year before last I think it's been, and I bought this package of letter-sized envelopes. It had hot pink, yellow, this green, and what other colors are in there? Blue. Is that the only other one? And orange. Anyway, I thought green, perfect, Christmas, right? So, to make a card to fit this envelope, you need a card base that is cut 9 1/4 by 8, scored at 4 1/4. Simple enough, correct? I think so. We can handle that. And then I cut 4 or 5 mats because I'm banana pants. The first one's cut, this is just paper, it's not cardstock, this first one. It is cut at 3 7/8 by 9. The second one is cut at 3 5/8 by 8 3/4. The third one is, don't hate me for this, 3 9/16 by 6. I have a good reason. Actually, that's longer than 6. Hang on. Shoot. I'll use my mat. by 6.5, sorry. I should probably write that down, eh? Not that it's going to matter. The red one is by 6. It's 3.5 by 6. And then the final one is 3 3/8 by 5 3/8. Right? Yes. Good grief. My brain is working like, well, it's Sunday. That might explain it. Oh, I made my 3 look like a 5. It was really a 3. I feel like a moron. Anyway, I wasn't going to put this white mat in here, and I'm going to explain to you why I did it. Because this little sentiment is so big, I figured I'd do something like this. Well, I had it on the red and white candy stripe, and I thought, need something else. So I put the green on there, and then I looked at it all together, and I need every bit of that 6 inches because of the sentiment. So I thought, that's too much green on each side for me. Let's add a little bit of white in there and see what happens. So there's just like a sliver of white on each side this direction, vertically, sorry, brain tired, but it's a little bit longer horizontally, just like the red one is. So that's how I came to rest on all of those. And I thought, well, it's me, and I like to complicate things quite apparently. So I am going to put this little guy on the inside. I think it'll be cute, like in a corner. I was thinking of going back to school. I know, figure that one out. I'm 50 years old. But I was thinking of going back to school and finishing up my education, just because. So I'm going to start gluing this stuff together while I'm talking, because we know I talk a lot, and I will probably have to cut mats for the inside because it'll make me crazy if I don't. And the front may get too heavy, which is part of the reason why I use so many mats on the inside as well. Anyway, I started crafting because my son had become an adult. He had a job that he went to every day. Then he moved out. My husband has a job that he goes to every day. I haven't been able to work because of health-related issues. I miss working. You know, there's a lot of people that say I'm crazy for that, but I do. I miss working. One, you make more money, and two, you know, you get out and see other people that are not the same people that you see all the time, and you get to conversate with others, and I don't know, it kind of gets me out of my own head. At any rate, I was thinking, well, maybe I'll go back to school, because then, you know, I would be socializing with people more. And I started looking into it, and I'm seriously thinking about it. I know that may sound silly to some people, being that I'm 50, but I feel like you're never too old to continue your education, for one. Especially if you feel as though, oops, hang on. I better shut up and pay attention, huh? Especially if you feel as though there's something more that you should be doing or could be doing, you know, something does not look right. Anyway, I know there are a lot of things that I'm passionate about that others probably are not passionate about. I know I'm not real big on politics. However, I am real big on not wasting my tax dollars, and not being okay with others wasting my tax dollars. I don't know. I never paid attention really to politics outside of, watching the debates when they'd come up for presidential debates, let's be more specific. I didn't ever pay attention to the local really. I knew who I liked just based on the reputation that they had around here. Yeah. So I didn't really pay attention to those debates, but my son got me to paying attention, because isn't that what our kids do? Get us to kind of, if we're being narrow-minded, maybe think a little bit more and say, hey, hang on, wait a minute. Well, that's what happened. My husband hates politics, hates it. And I don't like politics, don't get me wrong. I don't like politics. What I don't like is dishonesty, and then them acting like they're doing what's best for the average American, because the truth of the matter is, all they care about is getting their paycheck. That's what they care about, most of them. And to me, that's not how things should be. So in my mind, I can't get it to be okay when I care about so much more than, I'm not one-dimensional, I guess is what I'm trying to say, and I don't think that those in charge of our country should be one-dimensional, but it seems as though they are. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm just misreading it. At any rate, I thought about going back to school and studying political science, just to be informed more than anything, just to be informed. Since I had two of these little red hearts, I'm going to use both of them. I'm going to put one on one side and one on the other. Uh-oh. I dropped it. After I put glue on it. Anyway, I'm not going to bore you guys with that stuff either, because I know I was raised to believe there's things that you just don't talk about, and politics is one of them, but I was also taught that you shouldn't talk about religion either, and I don't know that I agree with that. I mean, how are we supposed to teach others what we know if we're not supposed to talk about it, That's just my own thinking. Whoops, come on now. If I don't ruin this little heart, I'm going to use it. Come on. Come on. I think this is going to have a white edge on it. And it's so thick now that I cannot cut through that and make it look decent. I think it'll be okay if I just put it down and leave it alone. Whoops, not like that. Good grief, why am I dropping things like that? Anyway, you guys know me by now. I just talk about whatever is on my mind, and sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes it is not. But that's what I do. I talk about, what I'm thinking about and what I'm passionate about and what I care about. I'm going to add foam tape to the back of this Merry Christmas. lift it up a little bit. So, that's what I've been up to and what I've been thinking about. I just feel like, I was raised in a generation where kids were seen and not really heard. They were sent outside to play, or at least that's how it was in my family. We were sent outside to play and don't come in making a whole bunch of racket, be well behaved. There's nothing wrong with being well behaved. But there were a lot of things that I did differently when raising my son, because I felt like, there were, one, I enjoyed spending time with my son. That was the first thing. But there are things that, kids can be pretty savvy. They can hear more than we give them credit for, and far more intelligent than they are given credit for. So, I don't think that I think maybe if people spent more time just sitting down and having a conversation with their child, regardless of the age of that child, because it's been my experience that there are some things, yes, we don't need to talk to our kids about. Please don't misunderstand me. But they're far smarter than we give them credit for, even at a young age. So I think a conversation is okay. Because, shoot, kids today are being taught drills in case of an active shooter. So when you think about that, are they really too young to have a conversation about, spatial awareness and, how to be safe, even when things around you are, especially when things around you seem like they're going bananas? Yeah. Sorry, my battery died and it's about to do it again. What I was going to say is we need to teach our kids, that they need to speak out. I cut 2 mats for the inside. One is cut at 3 3/4 by 9, and the other one's cut at 3 1/2 by 8 1/4. But we need to teach our kids that when they see like bullying and things like that happening at school, they need to tell someone in authority. Because some statistics that I saw the other day were 76% of mass shooters at schools have had a history of mental illness, but 80% were bullied. And I firmly believe that if somehow, some way, we can get that stopped, then maybe, just maybe, our children don't have to be scared to go to school. And I don't have to be scared that my son would like to be a history teacher one day. It seems to me like that is such a simple ideology, but it could help. I don't think it's the answer for everything, but what could it hurt at this point, right? Seems to me like it would just help. So, I'm going to get off my soapbox about it. I'm not going to keep yapping years off about it. I just know if my child was young enough and still in school and was doing those drills, one of the first things I would say is, Should you see anybody being bullied, immediately go to a teacher, go to the principal, go to the counselor, go to the somebody, and tell them. And then, bullies are made out of a lot of different environments. And that's a whole different aspect. But it seems like that one simple thing could save a few lives. And that's what I care about. I care that I want our kids to be safe. Period. I know if my son was still little and in this day and time, I would homeschool him because the fear would be too great. And I know that that's not the answer, but that's my honest feeling on it. And that saddens me because kids get so much out of going to school, not just their education, but socializing skills. And, some of them, the only form of exercise they get for the entire day, they get at school. Because a lot of kids don't go outside to play anymore. Why? It's not safe. And some would rather just be playing video games. That's just honest. But I don't know. There just has to be an answer. And of course, if you don't have a master's degree in whatever you're trying to talk about, there are people that just won't listen. Hence the idea of going back to school and finishing up my education. And maybe they would listen. I don't know. I'm going to stick this guy down, and then I got to go charge my camera before it shuts off on me again. Come off me. So I'm going to stick this guy right in the middle, or I'm eyeballing it close to the middle. I never get it exact. And that's okay. It's a handmade card. I don't mass produce cards, so shoot, I don't even like making two alike. Mass producing would make me nuts. No, it wouldn't. But I don't like making two cards that are just alike. I'm not going to put it down straight. I'm going to kind of tilt it a little bit. Alright, let's finish this guy up. I just laid these on here to see where I wanted them. Now this little star, I put it dimensional adhesive behind it. I'm going to put it on top of this eye. Now you guys won't be able to see it real well, but whoever gets this card will certainly be able to see it. So, and I used my Signo white gel pen to put just a few highlights on the glittery letters, and also I put way too much glue on this. And also on my little hearts. I finished gluing in the two mats for the inside. And all I have to do is glue down all these little bits and bobs, which is not going to take any time at all. So, let's see. Let's put a little bit behind this guy. Hang on, is that where I was going to put that? Were you guys watching? Because I must not have been. Here we go. Ooh, I used way too much glue on there. My gracious. Glue happy much? Hang on. Come on now. Get back over there. That one I'm not going to glue all the way down because I don't want to just smash it down on top of that heart. I don't care about its placement because it's just not that serious. I think this one I might make a little bit shorter, and I might do that with that one that I haven't glued all the way down. I don't know, we'll see. I never know what I'm going to do until after I'm right in the middle of doing it. I mean, I get an idea, you know, but then, I don't know. It never goes the way I originally thought. But that's okay. It's just card making. Come on. There's that one. I'll glue both of these guys down. Come on. Stay down. And two. Come on. I go from using too much glue to not using enough. That's my typical. There we go. Now this guy over here, we'll just snip that little bit off. Those are cute. See, and I can manipulate that either direction. I could glue it down that way, but I don't like it. I'd rather it just kind of be up and floating around there. It laid out perfectly when I was doing my practice while I was waiting on my battery. But you know, that's how it always works, or at least it does for me. Come back. Oh, good grief, come on. These itty bitty pieces. What was I thinking? Come off there. There's that one. And then last is this one. And we'll pop that guy right there. And then on the inside, that's where that's going to go. Easy peasy, right? I'll just say look outside the box, because something you don't expect, like confetti, as they have it called on this package, can make such a cute card. And outside of those few little die cuts that I have, which if you have small punches, You know, you can make those, or if you have the leaf punch, you can use it. I don't have that one. I have a die that's those little leaves, and the only reason I have it is because it came in a stocking die I have. So there we go. How cute is that? And then with my white Signo gel pen, all I did was the little highlights here on the heart. And then I just went into the letters and did the same thing. Now granted, I did have to clean my pen off a few times because it pulled glitter up in certain places. Not enough to make a difference, but it was enough to clog up my pen. It was an easy fix though. Just use it on some paper and keep it moving. I need to get a new one of these. This one is just about empty. I'm going to leave it alone. You guys let me know what you think. I think it turned out cute. And like I said, this glitter does come off if you rub at it or anything like that. But, I mean, it works. It works. And then this little area, I just used my white gel pen in there to make it a brighter white. And that's my card. What do you guys think? I think it turned out adorable. And that was just using this large confetti. That was $1.98 for a package. Which some people would say is high for 6 pieces. However, if you don't have stamps and you need to make a couple of cards, if you use a Christmas tree, you can handwrite a sentiment. So there's that. Anyway, I'm babbling. Thanks for spending some time with me. I certainly appreciate it. I hope you all have a great day and a glorious tomorrow. Bye, guys.